Hello everyone. In this session, we will see about how curriculum can bring about gender equality. First, we will find out what's the need for gender equal curriculum. The textual materials, they are pivotal sources of knowledge. Children from all segments of society have access to them, and these textbooks will make a constructive impact on the minds of the students, and they will unconsciously mold the character also of the tender minds. So, gender sensitizing curriculum is very important. It teaches all students to identify and respond positively to issues of other gender. It includes issues of equity and equality to combat harmful myths and stereotypes, and selected resources, that is, whatever textbooks we select, worksheets we select, videos, websites we use for classroom teaching, they all should reflect gender diversity on a regular basis. Added to it, LGBT friendly resources also should be included, because all along LGBT friendly resources are not included in curriculum, and it is very important because all students, including the transgender and gender non-conforming students, should see themselves in the curriculum, and the realities of their lives also should be reflected in their curriculum. Then only their learning will be complete. And integrating the histories, narratives and contributions of transgender and gender non-conforming people is very important. Even women authors we find very less in number, but LGBT authors are totally out of the syllabus, and we can introduce LGBT scientists and mathematicians, and artists, composers, authors whose names are given here. Their names can be included, their works can be included in the school curriculum. That will empower the transgender students by affirming their identities. And how this can be implemented in the class, and teachers can help in building critical thinking skills and empathy by having frequent dialogues with students about who is left out or misrepresented in literature and picture books. They can ask students questions like why this happens and how it happens. Thus, they can send positive messages about gender equity and inclusion. There are different types of gender education. The traditional one talks about gender stereotyping, and it tells that gender is binary with male and female only. There are limitations for this because all the transgender, gender non-conforming people are totally eliminated from this teaching. And there is the culture of silencing also. People are blind to gender, and they say that gender is better left ignored or deemed irrelevant for education. Why should we be giving so much of importance to gender? So those people argue like that, and if we follow that type of education, then that also has some limitations. And the more progressive type of education is sensitizing people, and even in this it is not complete, whereas gender inclusive education is very complex and it is difficult to navigate without education or training. So everyone should be trained to think differently and break stereotypes. Then only gender inclusive education can be a reality. Researchers have found certain ways in which primary children can be taught gender education, and they emphasize age appropriate ways to make the curriculum inclusive of gender diversity. For example, they say that showing pictures of different people with different lengths of hair helps. A boy with long hair and a girl with a short hair. We can ask the students questions like, can people decide what kind of hairstyle they want to have? Students naturally say yes. Would they want to be teased for their hair? Answer will be no. Why not? It might make them feel sad. So, teacher can conclude saying that let's not tease people about their hair. Okay? So, this is for primary students. It can be very simply brought to their notice. And for free play, teachers can appeal to the young children's sense of fairness. Would it be fair if certain toys or games were only for girls or only for boys? How would the other kids feel if they couldn't play with those things? If teacher asks this question, students will naturally answer. The other kids will feel sad and left out. And teacher can say that would not be fair, and assure that in this class every toy, every game is for every child, irrespective of their gender. The way groupings is done, some students will feel left out if there is a table just for girls or boys, and teacher can affirm saying that in our class any table or group is for anyone. And regarding the choosing of colors, normally we say that pink is for girls and blue is for boys, and teacher can ask the students, would it be fair to let kids use only certain colors for their artwork? Students will say no, and teacher can say that all the colored pens and pencils in this class are for all the students, and the focus should be only on making the picture beautiful. It should not be like who should use which color. And if it comes to secondary students, then the discussion can be different. Teachers can introduce discussions regarding sports, like they can ask about who should play on the big field during recess time. Would it be fair if only girls could play on the field? Why not? What about the only boys? Why? And how can we ensure the teams are fair? And how might a transgender student cope with the current system? So why should only boys get a chance to play in the ground, and why not girls, and why not the transgender people? So the teacher should finally conclude saying that the focus should be only on having fun and not in winning. Regarding art classes, they can start the discussion asking about who should get to do art in our class. Normally only girls are given art classes, and there may be the question as, would there be more boys or girls in art club? Why? How can we ensure any kid who likes art gets to go to art club? What system can we devise to include everyone? And what part of the brain do we develop doing art? So if all these questions are asked, then students will understand the importance that art classes should be chosen as per their interest and not as per their gender. And regarding personal planning also, some questions can be asked as to who should get to do jobs around the classroom if there is a cultural to be arranged. Normally the boys set up the stage and the girls plan for the song to sing. Why should it be like this, and why not? And in regular subjects also, the curriculum should be redesigned in such a way that gender inclusivity will be there. In English, when studying classical literature that may contain gender stereotypes, teacher may discuss it with the students. And in social studies, the teacher can discuss how gender roles differ through time and by region. and the teacher can discuss how these changes come about through shifts in attitude, understanding, the introduction of certain laws, and sometimes even some scientific discovery also can be responsible for the change in the gender roles. And when science is being taught, they can teachers can have the students consider the biological and genetic differences between genders. Teachers can introduce the notion of intersexuality also here, and they can discuss varieties in gender roles through the animal kingdom in terms of reproduction, mating rituals, caregiving, and nurturing roles. When it comes to the subject of mathematics, the discussion can be on famous mathematicians of the past and the present, and it can normally they say that the discussion can also revolve on the dominance of men in the field and possible reasons for that. And this notion that men excel at mathematics can be challenged. It's a long held notion, but it can still be challenged, and girls can be proved equally good at mathematics. The success of this inclusive curriculum is felt by researchers everywhere. Researchers proved that this inclusive curriculum is very successful. It has resulted in lower rates of harassment, bullying, and intimidation. And students in schools with the inclusive curriculum are less likely to skip school. That's also has been proven. And the incidences of sexual harassment has reduced by 50% because of this inclusive curriculum. So all these tend to prove that gender equal curriculum is very important in bringing about gender equality. Thank you.